I feel like regarding when it comes to our gente, a lot of them do support Trump. The only problem they have with him is him mass deporting our people. I think that's the only policy. I don't think. Is there another policy you disagree with?
Yeah, like the birthright citizenship. Like,
that's out. Yeah, no, yeah, that's out.
If you're born here, I think he takes away. Like, if you're born here, then you cannot have papers to live here or to be documented.
I don't think he could legally do that, but just the fact that fool said that is like, come on, my boy, what the fuck?
No, I don't really agree with that. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
weird as fuck.
I mean, I agree with all his policies. Like, he's taking the gay pride month away. Take that away.
Like, because you're a homophobe.
Yeah. I agree with that. All power to you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Give a fuck what anybody has to say, homie. The fuck? And then I agree with, like, I think, yeah, freedom of motherfucking speech. And I like how he's trying to implement some Veterans Month instead of Black History Month or something like that.
You don't fuck with Black History Month, or what do you mean?
Nah, I don't really see a point in Black History Month either, bro. I feel like Black history is American history. Why isn't there a Mexican?
Well, they have Hispanic
Mexican history month.
They have
Hispanic Caucasian history.
Well, they have Hispanic.
Why
Heritage
is it only
Month?
Black History Month? I feel like they're kind of segregating.
There's Hispanic Heritage Month. They barely came out with it. And
Barely, though.
It's September.
Hispanic, they generalize all the Hispanics, Colombians, all the Latinos.
Yeah, I feel like Black History Month is kind of like, I feel like it should be American History Month.
No. The thing is that they should be
Right?
more Mexican.
In that case, there should be a Mexican History Month too, because
There's no Mexican.
Mexicans.
Hispanic, but they generalize all Latinos.
Yeah.
Peruvians, Colombians, Argentinians,
Yeah.
You know, they don't give credit.
I don't mind Black History Month though. I never said I didn't like it. That's fucked up. Why you like Black History Month? Do you celebrate it every month?
I don't celebrate it. It's just another
The
month.
Morenos, man. The Morenos are down.
No, I do.
Keep it real, bro.
I'm keeping it real.
Keeping it real, my boy.
I hear, and honestly, I talk to a lot of Black people about this subject. They say they even told me, they're like, I don't really agree with Black History Month. If Morgan Freeman, look up Morgan Freeman on Black History Month, and that video should tell you a lot.
What's that video, Sarah? What?
He just says how Black History Month is like kind of a form of like segregation in a way. It kind of still implements the racism. Like why segregate a certain group of people to have their own month out of the year, right? It's kind of like saying they're still suppressed. So we gotta
do you
celebrate a whole month for their heritage? Maybe I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. I'm open to other people's opinions. If you have any disagreements, let me know.
I feel like Black people,
they built America, and so did Mexicans.
No, I'm saying they got their own, like I feel like the Blacks and the Hispanics, they got their own month set out in the calendar. I never heard of like a white month or an Asian month.
Like exactly. Why don't there's plenty of Asians in America. Why don't they have their own month? They were suppressed too by the white man.
Well, a lot of people would say, well, Asians didn't contribute to America as much as Blacks.
Definitely, they did it. Probably they did it.
Yeah.
But there's still a big population of America.
Do you feel like Mexicans contributed?
I feel like Mexicans should definitely have a fucking Mexican month.
And not to put you on the spot, but we won't keep it real. Do you feel like Mexicans helped build this country more than the Blacks did?
More? I don't know. I would say East Coast, that's more Blacks. West Coast is more Mexicans.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, 100%. Texas, Arizona, and California, that's all built by Mexico. The southern states, built by Blacks. I know my history, Holmes. I paid attention to history class a little bit. That's it.
Well, not even history, just present day. To this day, who's building the roads? Who's building the buildings?
There's no argument that Hispanics dominate in construction.
Well, America definitely likes to use Hispanics for cheap labor. You know, it makes sense as a businessman to hire the person. You could get.
Yeah, that's
I'm kind of faded right now, but you get
farm workers and we came from shit pay. You know, because we came from Mexico, we're a third world country, and we're all poor as fuck.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say that's kind of why we are stereotyped as a construction or hard laborer. But hey, at the end of the day, homie, it's a part of our culture, homie. That's how we brought up. We were brought to hustle, work hard, and one day we will reap the
benefits.
There's a saying: you will reap the harvest of your what's the you'll reap the fruit of your harvest or some shit like that.
Fruit of your labor.
Fruit of your labor. There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's how it goes. Yeah, you'll reap the fruits of your labor, some shit like that. I do believe in that though.
But I want to go back to.
I was kind of faded. I'd be forgetting some shit.
Let's take a shot.
Let's get more drunk though.
Let's take a shot, my boy.
Fuck staying sober.
Salud.
Salud. Hey, how does that saying go? You'll reap the fruits of your labor. But yeah, what do you think, my boy? You think Mexican people are still? We still get shit pay for being hard laborers?
What do you mean shit pay? Well, they only get shit pay because they don't have no papers and they can get away with it.
I'm not for deportation though. I'm not for deportation. If you're a hardworking, if you're a hardworking Mexican, if you're a hardworking individual and you're not documented in America, I don't believe, and you are a good citizen, I don't believe you should be deported.
So how do you feel about them deportating like people who they like to call high-ranking gang members, right? And then sending them to El Salvador.
I mean, I had this debate with my uncle.
Keep it 100.
My uncle's a high-ranking. He's a high-ranking gang member. He's a high-ranking criminal, and he doesn't have any papers. And I told him I'm for Trump.
Oh, and that fool flashed out on you or what?
Yeah, we had our disagreements.
What you mean? What happened?
That's man to man, but that's a man to man conversation like we're having right now. And I would say, think about it. If you're a good leader, right? Are you gonna want dangerous criminals in your country? It's fucked up to say because that's who we are. I was a fucking criminal. I was incarcerated. I was on probation. I was getting down in the calle. My whole family's been in prison. Everyone in my family is a gang member. Everybody. I got hella alcoholics, hella drug addicts, hella cousins passed away. So you can't hate on Trump for wanting to better his country, you know, or make it safer, I guess you could say. And it hurts because my people, we're the ones that commit the crime. We're the ones that extort the drugs. We're the ones that fucking do the murders. I know it because I've fucking seen it. So fucking homie, the truth hurts. I said, suck that shit up, Holmes. Hey, for everybody watching this shit.
So how do you feel about the president of El Salvador?
Fuck with that fool, 100%.
You fuck with him?
I fuck with that fool, dog. That fool's a writer. That fool's a writer, homie.
Explain.
That fool's smart, fool. The president of El Salvador. If you see his podcast, you hear him speak, and if you like tune in on the way he thinks and his ideas, he's really smart, fool. He's really like, the motherfucker's a go-getter. He don't play games.
So
homie.
you got people from the hood, right? Homies, who they'll say,
very intelligent man.
They'll say, hey, if you support the president of El Salvador doing what he's doing to the inmates, you're not really from the streets. And the reason you're not from the streets is because you should understand that you're a product of your environment. So why are you punishing people who were brought up in an environment that they didn't choose? You're not really for you're not really for our people or fools in the streets if you advocate for the president of El Salvador. What do you got to say to that?
When I was incarcerated, I knew that my own actions led me to where I was at. So, and I knew that I was a product of my environment. I feel like that's a victim mentality. That's a victim mentality. I didn't have a dad, so now I'm gonna be gay. You know, like you're being a victim, homie. Just because you didn't have a dad doesn't mean you can fuck up your life, do drugs, go destroy your life, throw it away, go into prison, throw it away, drinking your life away, fucking, smoking your life away, throwing your life away. That's a victim mentality, you know? So just because you grew up in a fucked up situation is not an excuse for you to fuck up your life. Everybody fucking suffers and struggles. You gotta accept that shit, and you gotta move forward from it. You don't want to be a statistic. Because a lot of us are statistics. I was a statistic. He's a statistic. I'm pretty sure you're a statistic. You probably didn't graduate school either, right?
I did.
This motherfucker barely went to third grade.
Start clowning this fool.
I barely graduated, homie. I don't give a fuck, dog. I did.
I barely did too. Yeah, I barely
graduated with
like a 2.0 something. Yeah.
I only graduated with like 2 years worth of credits, fool.
Yeah. Let's go back to your life story, right? You say you got locked up. You in the juvie at what age exactly?
16.
So from 13 to 16, what were you doing during that time?
Bad shit. Drugs.
What drugs exactly? Just weed?
Marijuana.
Okay. You never fuck around with coke?
I may or may not have.
Okay. But how was it though? From 13 to 16 prior for you to getting locked up? Were you just running the streets? What were you doing?
Yeah, homie, I was doing bad shit. Skipped school. I mean, actually, I was at school. I lied. I was always at school for some reason because I was always alone at home. So I feel like I kind of like going to school. I never ditched that like that. I didn't ditch a lot. When I did get the chance to go to school, because I never went to a regular high school.
Were you in a continuation or what?
I went to like a juvenile court school freshman year. Sophomore year, I went to Garfield, and I dropped out for a little bit. Like in my sophomore year, and then junior year I went to juvenile hall, and then senior year was like I did a continuation. Yeah. So I never went to like a regular high school.
Yeah.
I went to juvenile court school first, freshman year.
Yeah. Because
I was already having problems with the law since I was, like you said, when I was 13, from 16 when I got busted.